2026 Genesis G90 arrives at a time when the global flagship sedan segment is under quiet pressure rather than dramatic decline. Large luxury sedans are no longer volume leaders, but they remain important symbols of brand identity, engineering capability, and long-term commitment to comfort and refinement. Genesis has treated the G90 as a slow-evolving statement piece rather than a fast-moving product, and the 2026 update reflects that approach. Development of the current generation G90 began several years ago, with Genesis prioritizing structural rigidity, ride comfort, and long-term durability over aggressive redesign cycles. Rather than introducing an all-new model for 2026, Genesis has focused on incremental improvements, software updates, and market-specific refinements. This slower cadence is partly influenced by global regulatory uncertainty and shifting luxury buyer expectations, particularly in markets where electrification timelines continue to change. Launch timing for the 2026 model has been carefully staggered across regions, with South Korea and North America expected to see early availability followed by selective global rollouts. Supply chain stability has improved compared to earlier years, reducing the likelihood of significant launch delays. However, production volumes are expected to remain controlled, reinforcing the G90's role as a low-volume flagship rather than a mass-market luxury sedan. Pricing for the 2026 Genesis G90 is expected to rise modestly compared to the previous model year, reflecting material cost increases and expanded standard equipment. In the United States, pricing is likely to remain positioned below established European rivals, such as the Mercedes-Benz S-Class and BMW 7 Series. This pricing strategy continues Genesis's focus on value rather than price leadership, offering comparable size and technology at a lower entry point. In markets such as South Korea and parts of the Middle East, the G90 is expected to remain competitively priced relative to imported German luxury sedans. European pricing may be more constrained due to emissions regulations and import costs, limiting the G90's competitiveness in that region. Overall, the G90 is positioned as an alternative for buyers who value comfort, reliability, and understated design over brand prestige alone. Genesis as a brand has built its reputation on consistent build quality, strong warranty coverage, and conservative engineering choices. The G90 sits at the top of that philosophy, representing the brand's interpretation of long-term luxury ownership rather than short-term visual impact. While Genesis lacks the century-long history of some competitors, its track record for reliability and customer satisfaction has steadily strengthened. The G90 also plays an important role in reinforcing Genesis's credibility as a standalone luxury brand, separate from Hyundai. Its restrained design and emphasis on refinement help distance it from mainstream associations. For Genesis, the G90 is less about sales numbers and more about brand validation. Structurally, the 2026 G90 continues to use a rear-wheel drive-based platform with extensive use of high-strength steel and aluminum. This mixed material approach balances rigidity with weight control, which directly affects ride quality and long-term structural integrity. The platform is designed to accommodate advanced suspension systems and heavy sound insulation without compromising stability. For real-world use, this construction results in a solid, composed driving feel that prioritizes isolation over sportiness. The G90 is engineered to handle poor road surfaces with minimal intrusion into the cabin. This focus aligns with the expectations of flagship sedan buyers who prioritize comfort over dynamic engagement. The exterior design of the 2026 G90 follows Genesis's established design language without major deviation. Its proportions emphasize length, width, and a low visual center of gravity. The long hood, short front overhang, and wide stance communicate presence without excessive ornamentation. Design inspiration appears rooted in classical luxury sedans rather than contemporary experimentation. The signature twin-line lighting elements remain a defining feature, extending across the front and rear in a restrained manner. Surface detailing is smooth and deliberate, avoiding sharp creases or aggressive forms. In terms of size, the G90 remains firmly in the full-size luxury sedan category. Overall length is comparable to the Mercedes-Benz S-Class, while width and wheelbase place it comfortably among segment leaders. This size translates directly into rear seat legroom and overall cabin space, which are critical metrics in this class. Compared to rivals, the G90 does not attempt to exceed dimensions for the sake of presence alone. Instead, its dimensions are optimized for balance between interior space and manageable road footprint. This makes it more suitable for markets where urban maneuverability still matters. Powertrain options for the 2026 Genesis G90 are expected to remain consistent with previous offerings, with regional variations. In many markets, a turbocharged V6 engine will continue as the primary option, paired with an automatic transmission. This engine prioritizes smooth power delivery, rather than outright performance figures. Select markets may continue to receive a more powerful variant tuned for higher output and increased refinement. All-wheel drive availability will vary by region, reflecting climate and consumer demand. Transmission tuning focuses on seamless gear changes rather than aggressive response. Hybrid or electrified variants for the G90 remain limited, reflecting Genesis's cautious approach to flagship electrification. While mild hybrid systems may be used to improve efficiency and emissions compliance, a full hybrid or electric G90 is not expected for 2026. This aligns with regulatory flexibility in key markets and the preferences of traditional luxury sedan buyers. Fuel efficiency improvements are expected to be incremental rather than transformative. The emphasis remains on smooth operation and long-distance comfort. Genesis appears to be prioritizing reliability and refinement over experimental powertrain adoption in this segment. Within the global Genesis lineup, the G90 stands as the brand's definitive luxury statement. It is designed for buyers who value quiet confidence, comfort, and long-term ownership satisfaction. Rather than competing directly on innovation headlines, the G90 focuses on delivering a complete, balanced luxury experience. For executives, chauffeurs, and private owners who prefer subtlety over spectacle, the 2026 Genesis G90 offers a compelling alternative. It reflects Genesis's belief that modern luxury can be calm, durable, and thoughtfully engineered. In that context, the G90 remains an important pillar of the brand's global strategy.